Denver Broncos versus Pittsburgh Steelers reaction. The Broncos versus Steelers instant reaction is that both of these teams are right in the thick now of what I think is going to be an AFC wildcard race. I don't think the Steelers, I don't think the Broncos will win their divisions. But let me get to what I thought the game was going to be. I thought that the Broncos would lose a close one, 17-20. My computer projections had Denver winning this game 21-13. So in the rare instance, I was actually better than my computer projections. By the way, it wasn't an even spread by the time the game started. The Steelers were 1-point favorites. Congratulations to the Steelers on a victory. I'm going to get to them in just a bit. The Denver Broncos, hey, they played a tough team. I thought the defenses were going to play tough, and they did. They did play tough. Teddy Bridgewater, not a full week of practice. I think that hurt the Denver Broncos this week. He finishes 24-38, which I think is actually a really nice stat line against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Javonte Williams, 8 carries, 61 yards, no touchdowns. Gordon gives you 9 carries, 34 yards, and no touchdowns. Both of these teams were banged up. Denver's was certainly banged up in the entire backfield, quarterback and Melvin Gordon at running back. Javonte Williams, 7.6 yards per carry. Maybe you should give the ball to that guy a little bit more, right? But of course, that 49-yard run had a little bit something to do with that yards per carry average. Cortland Sutton had himself a game, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 120 yards, 1 touchdown. Tim Patrick, 7 receptions, 89 yards. He's going to continue to get you great numbers until at least Judy comes back. Kendall hitting them a big touchdown late, but unfortunately didn't get the last touchdown there at the very, very end of the game. 2 receptions, 25 yards, 1 touchdown. Noah Fant, not much of a factor. I projected him to have a tough week coming in. The Pittsburgh Steelers do a really, really good job against tight ends, and I thought Noah Fant was going to have a tough game. That is what ended up happening. Now, for the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, 15-25, not great. 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. I didn't have a great projection on Big Ben. Honestly, he actually exceeded my expectations in this game because there's a lot of respect I have for the Denver Broncos defense. They did fantastic. At the running back position, 23 carries, 122 yards, 5.3 yards per carry. That's massive. That's the story of the game right there. The Pittsburgh Steelers were able to run and assert their will offensively against the Denver Broncos. This is the best game that the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line had this entire season. I've been waiting for it. Is this a sign of things to come? I don't know. If you can get it done against Denver, you can get it done against a lot of teams, and that's a big, big deal. 1 touchdown then, and then also Najee Harris gives you 5 targets, 2 receptions, 20 yards, no touchdowns. He did end the game banged up there. Steelers fans, I know you're keeping track of it. Tell me how banged up is Mr. Harris. Benny Snell gets in on the action a little bit. Balaj gets in on the action a little bit, but really this is about Najee Harris. You need him healthy, obviously, going forward. Now, at the receiver position, this was all about Chase Claypool, at least in terms of receivers. He had 6 targets. The next best person in terms of targets was Najee Harris, right? So as in terms of wide receivers, you get Chase Claypool, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson gives you that big 50-yard touchdown early in the game. Not really much of a factor beyond that. 2 targets, 2 receptions, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Really kind of outside of that first drive or whenever it was very early in the game, really was not much of an entity. And then obviously Juju Smith-Schuster banged up today. He came into this game banged up, and he took a really nasty hit against Steelers fans. Keep us updated below. What is the latest on that injury? Freiermuth and Ebron both get 2 targets, both get 2 receptions, 17 yards between them. Not good. Again, I wasn't really projecting these tight ends to do anything against a tough Denver Broncos defense. I thought this game would be lower scoring. Again, I think that this game was higher scoring than I anticipated it being. Kudos to the Steelers. They are back in the thick of it. 2-3. 2 wins, by the way. They beat the best team, in my opinion, in the Buffalo Bills to start the year. They beat a team that has not lost with their starting quarterback all year. Remember, he was injured last week against Baltimore. Teddy Bridgewater was. So Pittsburgh, 2 good wins. 2 big wins in the AFC landscape in the AFC playoff picture, and they are going to be back in the thick of it. So good win, Steelers fans. Everybody comment below. What are your thoughts? What went right? What went wrong? We'll be back with some more reactions soon.